Welcome, everybody. Hi there, welcome to this crazy unveiling of curriculum. I can't believe how many people are here to hear about something so exciting and also so curriculum-y, all at the same time. So my name is Beth Flowers. I'm the Executive Director of Beat Street, and we're so thrilled to have so many of you here today. We're going to do a couple of quick announcements as people are getting seated, etc. But here's tonight's agenda. We're going to talk a little bit, get things started, and then I'm going to move right into a presentation of the curriculum and the development that has happened for the past 3 months. And then we're going to do a little group exercise together. That's an example and sample of what is to come in the future. And then we're going to do a wrap up and we're going to party down. Not everybody can pull that off. So anyway, welcome again. There is a cash bar over here. There's food on this end of the room. Restrooms are outside. We want to do some quick thank yous, though. There are lots of people that have been making this happen along the way. And one person who has been critical to this whole process is Jill Stillwell, who's not here because she's so busily working on the Cultural Services Department budget. And that's dedication. But there's some other folks, important folks, from CSU. Gary Voss is here. Where's Gary? Gary is the co-chair of the School of the Arts with Todd Queen, who is not here, but he's on his way. And Jill and Gary and Todd and I have spent a lot of time together making this whole project come to life and continue to grow and thrive. So thank you so much to our partners in the AIR concept. And then I want to give a really big thanks as well to the Beat Street Board. Bruce Freestone is here. Bruce, stand up. Bruce is our chairman and president. I'm not sure, is he chairman or president? I'm not sure. Czar. So, and we also have Lisa Papa. Councilwoman Lisa Papa is here with us. She's also on the Beat Street Board. Stand up. And we are thrilled as well to have Mayor Whitenot here as well. And I wanted to give a big thank you to the other Beat Street staff members. There are thousands of us, if you haven't noticed. We've been very busy. But Kari Munson, who's right here in the audience, and Carrie Miller, who's just going to run in. But we are the team, so we're so happy that you all are excited to be here today. So thanks to all of us for being here. And then we have a couple more quick announcements, quick introductions we want to do. Some of the members of our consultant team are here as well. So Kim Wiley is here. Where did Kim go? She's one of our curriculum consultants. And also Mickey McMillan, who is with Blue Mesa Group, and she's one of our consultants as well. So I'm also going to make the curriculum committees. I'll just stand up and wave. We're going to do a little introduction more formally later, but curriculum committee people, please stand up. We had 40 people apply to be on our curriculum committees, and so it was a pretty amazing process that so many people wanted to participate, wanted to volunteer their time and their efforts. So we're so thankful to those folks for helping us out. We also want to thank the Downtown Development Authority. We wouldn't be here without their incredible vision and funding for the arts in Fort Collins. So thank you so much to them. And then, of course, a big thank you to the National Endowment for the Arts. We definitely wouldn't be here today had it not been for the Our Town grant that we received over the summer. And there are some really important folks who are here as well that represent the organizations that helped us get that grant. The Colorado Creative Industries, Nevada Arts Council, the Bohemian Foundation, Senators Bennett and Udall, and Representative Cory Gardner all helped make that grant possible. So thank you to all of them. And now here we are at this moment where it feels like there needs to be a big drum roll, but we're not really there yet. So we're going to move on and we're going to start talking about how we got to where we are today. Because I know many of you maybe just heard about this in the last couple of months and haven't been around, or you've been right here in this room, although it looked quite a bit different. It was before the renovation, and nearly 200 people came and talked about what was important to the arts and how could we move forward and really maximize the energy and excitement in our community into something new and different. But one of the things that was identified as being a real lack and a place that we needed some help with was professional development. So Beat Street spent the next, there's Jill Stillwell. Say yay to Jill Stillwell. But so we really took it upon ourselves to tackle that problem of professional development. How can we help our artists and our arts organizations raise more money, do better, and really raise the reputation of Fort Collins, our talent so high here, but really make the rest of the world understand how awesome it is to live here and to create here. So we did a fair amount of research of arts incubators and professional development programs all over the country. And we discovered that it was really expensive to do professional development, and that's one of the reasons why smaller communities and rural communities in particular really struggle with finding ways to connect with the arts community with meaningful professional development. So we started to look around as we realized we couldn't be the only ones having this problem. It couldn't just be Fort Collins. So we looked around and discovered that really Colorado did not have specific professional development programs for artists and creatives that were meaningful and helping really move the industry forward. We looked a little bit further and we discovered that there wasn't professional development happening for the arts, for creatives, for innovators in New Mexico, in Wyoming, in Utah, in Montana, in Idaho, Nevada, North and South Dakota, or Nebraska. And we realized we might be onto something, that there was clearly a gap and clearly a need that needed to be filled. So, at the moment that we started doing that research, Todd Queen and Jill Stillwell and I have been going to University Connections meetings together for the Arts and Culture Task Force for University Connections. And we all realized that we were having the same realization at the same time, which was how can we change the way that we're doing business as artists and creatives. CSU is really struggling with the fact that a vast majority, I think it's almost 90% of graduates in the arts are out of the industry within 2 years. It's staggering how many people leave their passion and their talent because they can't figure out how to make a living. And so CSU really realized that they wanted to figure out how they can connect their students earlier on with important business connections and skills that allow them to make a living and stay in the industry that we all care about. And the city of Fort Collins, at that same moment in time, said, hey, we have this building, this Carnegie Library building, and the museums are moving out of it, and wouldn't it be amazing, do you want to be a part of a process to figure out what happens in that building? And the three organizations really came together and realized that we had some incredible assets that we could use together. So CSU, what they have done is they have created, or are in the process of creating, it changes like every 5 minutes, where they are in the process. I think is that okay to say that? Yes. But the mission of their new LEAP Institute for the Arts is advocating visual and performing arts to the public through leadership and entrepreneurship. And what this means for people at CSU in the School of the Arts is that starting in spring of 2013, there will be a minor in arts advocacy and leadership and arts advocacy and leadership. And then in the fall of 2013, the master's degree program will be of that same ilk. So there'll finally be classes that are really designed to help people in the arts get connections to a better understanding of business and also to the fact that the arts are important to all of our communities. It's not just about making money, it's about how do we make our communities better. So, of course, CSU School of the Arts has amazing facilities and they bring so much to the table in this partnership. Especially because one of the things that we're able to do together is leverage visiting artists and speakers if we start working together. And then the City of Fort Collins, just to tell you a little bit about the Carnegie Library building, if you haven't seen it, it's a beautiful 1904 historic building. It's about 12,000 square feet. The RFP for the design of the interior and exterior planning of the building is now underway. And what we imagine for that building are classrooms, a gallery, many public spaces, outdoor venues, a black box theater, a limited menu cafe, and the Beat Street and the Air offices. So it's kind of an exciting reuse of a building that has had a great use for many years as both a museum and, of course, as the library. So what we realized when we put all three of these pieces together is that we had some incredible leverage and we wanted to share it. We realized that what we were going to do for Fort Collins wasn't really going to be sustainable unless we thought bigger, and we realized that we had a moment to think big. Because we started having conversations about distance learning and the use of technology and the idea that maybe what we could do is serve a regional audience rather than just serving Fort Collins. So we had this incredible economy of scale and technology changes that made this possible. And frankly, we had some amazing leadership here in Fort Collins that allowed for there to be funding for something like this to even be imagined. So just at about this time, we started talking further to make sure that the folks that we were trying to serve actually wanted to be served, and that made sense. So we talked with the Colorado Creative Industries. They are the State Arts Council for the state of Colorado, and they were on board immediately and helped us get the NEA grant. The Nevada Arts Council were also an amazing player. A year ago, I went and spoke at the Nevada State Arts Council annual arts conference, and I saw such amazing art happening in towns of 10, and I don't mean 10,000, 10 people. And towns that were so small, and they had this incredible energy and incredible creativity that we all know and appreciate because we live in this beautiful place that inspires us to make great art, whether it's visual or musical or writing. Being in the natural environment that we're in is so special, and in Nevada they definitely have that same sensibility. Of course, they also have Vegas. But it's that natural environment that really was inspiring to us, and we realized that maybe what we were talking about was not really just professional development. We were talking about trying to help each other and network and find people who were doing similar things, learn from each other, and really start to create those networks and important connections that we all need, because we want to be isolated, but we also don't want to be isolated. So those were important players in the development of this whole process. And then, of course, having this whole vision came together, and we were able to, last summer, Jill Stillwell and I applied for an NEA Our Town grant. We were one of 52 grants funded in 2011. And it was a $100,000 grant, and it paid for the business plan to really make sure that what we were doing made sense, and to also do the regional outreach within the 10-state region that we proposed. And of course, the curriculum development was another big piece of what that NEA grant is paying for. So, last fall, some of you may have heard about this, we pulled together the state arts councils from the 10 states. I was absolutely amazed that a cold email to folks who didn't know Beat Street, didn't know me for sure, saying, hey, we have this sort of crazy idea. Do you want to come talk to us about professional development and a regional arts incubator? And within 36 hours, I had email and phone conversations with 9 of the 10 states. So they were absolutely excited and delighted to start the conversation. And in November, we brought Colorado, Idaho, Nevada, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming to Fort Collins and spent 2 days working together to make sure that what we were building made sense for all of our states and really was going to maximize the economies of scale and really get at some of those isolation issues that we were concerned about.